Hi, everybody. We are live from McGafffer Saloon, a neighborhood institution, JD.
Yes, it is.
Got my good friend John Doss over here, also the president of the Park District of Forest Parks uh, board or commissioners. I don't know what you call it out here.
That's about right.
And we're going to be doing a little preview show. But before we get into that, we wanted to thank you personally and also the Park District for allowing us to do the Game Changer for the Chicago Summer Series and also the live stream at the tournament as guest streamers. And so I know you were involved in that decision making, so I wanted to thank you for that.
Not a problem, Gio. You know, it's our pleasure to have you guys along. We've had a long relationship. I'm glad it's working out again.
Yeah, well, us too, and more importantly, I think everybody in softball is pretty happy to have the statistics be incorporated in the summer series. It's been wildly popular, and just raises the overall exposure of the game and your tournament, which already gets a lot of exposure. But you can never have too much.
I totally agree. You know, we had Mr. Stats for years. He retired. So to me, this is a natural fit. I love it. I hope it works out for the future, going forward.
Fantastic. And had a little problem last night. Had a little rain. So hopefully it was a little cloudy. It looks like it's getting a little lighter out here. Good temperature. Games will start again at 7 o'clock today. And Splash was leading Impact 3-1, and 10 Deep was leading Menace 3-0. So that's where those games will pick up, and hopefully we'll get them in so that we can know who's going to play Whale tomorrow at 9:45.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get them in tonight. The fields were underwater last night, even this morning still. Our field crew, our staff is outstanding. They were out there this morning. You can't even tell it rained right now. So we're ready to go. Excited for some good games tonight, and then moving on to the tournament tomorrow night.
Yeah, it should be interesting. So what we're going to do is I'll put the bracket up there. Of course, tough to see on a cell phone. Again, don't go by this bracket. Always go by the official bracket, which is posted on Quick Scores under the Park District of Forest Park. So but we'll move along and we'll go to the upper portion of the bracket. And this is an interesting bracket. You got the Dirty 38s who won the SSA Tom Egg Zarnik Class A No Glove National Championship, and they have not. This is going to be like their really the biggest tournament they've played in all year, and it's the first tournament where the stats will go toward the summer series. So they're kind of an unranked team heading into this, but they're a good solid club. Iron the other day turned around and they walked off high Y in the B bracket playoffs for the championship. So can't sleep on them. We talk about Flashback. They're right up there, top of the point board for the summer series. They've got a first, a second, and a fourth in the three big tournaments, and of course defending champs. And then on the bottom part of the bracket, I think what's going to be a real good game is going to be March and Chugs. And March started out like a house on fire. They've leveled off a little bit, and Chugs is still, with all the new players, they haven't found their footing yet. And of course, winter feeds into BTA, and they look like they're getting it back together. Hard to pick who's going to come out of this bracket, but we got three excellent top flight major teams in there, and then we got other teams that are showing they can compete. You got any thoughts on this?
Dirty 38s is that team that really, when it comes selection time, gives us a hard time. Now, we know they're a tournament team. They just don't play enough in things that we scout, right? They don't play in a big league. I think the big first tournament was this weekend, right? Or they played in the
They played in the A No Glove, and but they didn't play in the North South or the TOC or the Midsummer. So
And moving forward, I'd love to see them step up into a big league, make it easier on us. Iron, what else can you say about them? They, nice young team. We've been saying that for years. They keep getting younger. They're starting to grow together. I think that team's a team. This game right here could be a game of the tournament.
It's going to be very interesting. I think when you look at Iron Danny, I always kid them that I say that they're not flashy, but people got to remember they still got one or two kids that are graduating, I think, this year from college, and a couple of the other kids got out of school last year, and so they're a team on the come. They're gonna be very good for a few years moving forward, I think. March has done a good job. I think they upgraded. They're very solid. They generally play the game the right way. And I think in this bracket in particular, it just may come down to whatever two teams are catching the ball the best. Because all of these teams are solid, but they've also been prone to games and innings where they just, fall apart a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think, your favorite in this little bracket here is probably going to be Flashback, but it wouldn't surprise me if BTA or Chucks or March came out of there.
Yeah, I think it's a sneaky good bracket. There's no doubt about that, and it'll be interesting. But, that's why we play the games, right?
So, absolutely.
So we'll go to the upper lower, and we got Dynasty and Goodwood, and the winner's going to feed into Moneyline, and then of course we got Players Inc., Napleton Shooters feeding into Signature, and this is interesting. A lot of people are kind of picking the Moneyline team to maybe win this weekend. So that'll be a little interesting to see how they maybe handle increased expectations. Talking to Maddie, he said his son Marty's starting to heat up a little bit, which is bad news for the rest of the softball community. Goodwood, they beat Chucks in the North-South. They had a nice little run there. Steve Burke's done a good job of slowly but surely improving the talent level. And a couple of those guys played on the SSA team that won the Nicky Lopez tournament. So how about that? Dynasty, man, they've taken a lot of hits the last few years, lost a lot of guys that you might consider top 10 players. And they're still trying to kind of put it back together a little bit. They have moments where they look good, but they're searching for some consistency. Bottom part of that bracket, we got Players Inc. playing the Shooters, and the Shooters are a very tough team when they get everybody out. Inc. plays a little better than the record when they get their guys out. And of course, Signature just won the last tournament, coming all the way through the losers bracket, and they're really starting to heat up. They've jumped up. They're in third place now on the Summer Series team standings, and I've been saying all summer that I expected them to be better the back half of the season because they had so many new faces. So, on paper, you might think it's Signature and Moneyline going to fight it out of this quarter of the bracket, but like I said, I don't think you can sleep on the Shooters. Inc. has a history of playing pretty well in this tournament. And Dynasty and Goodwood, it's a good opportunity to maybe prove yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I love those Shooters Players Inc. matchup. Anytime Johnny Ryan's on the mound, you're in the game. I've had Johnny Ryan on my team with OBI. When he's there, he's a competitor.
He's a character.
He's a character. Pete's always going to have his team out for tournaments. Let's be honest. Pete, tournament time, he gets his players out. Goodwood, I love this team. Great young team. Dynasty, they hit. They hit no matter what. And this Moneyline, I've been on the receiving end of some beatings from that team already this year. So I can vouch they are a much better team, and they can contend this year without a doubt.
Are they the Circus Boogeyman?
We've got a few.
Yeah.
Circus is our biggest boogeyman, but besides that,
Well, I know BTA's probably hoping they don't run into March. but March seems to have their number. Everybody seems to have that one team that just gives them fits. And, back in the day for me, we couldn't get past Windy City / Signature out here in the No Glove, and, you keep running into them at, crucial times. And half the battle is your guys just say, oh, not these guys. You know what I mean? So it should be interesting. So we'll go to the upper portion of the bracket, and we got Fat Kids and Meatball City feeding into High Y. And I think High Y is, they're getting there, man. They're in the top 4, it seems like, quite a bit. At the North-South, those 2 championship games that they played with the 45s were phenomenal ball games. And, High Y is one of the teams I think could have a real good run here this weekend. I know you don't want to hear it because you're in the bottom part of this quarter, but, I think they're getting to the point now where they seem to play real well in tournaments. Fat Kids, they compete, they seem to do well, but when they get late in a tournament, they haven't been able to, seal the deal. In these A events, they look fantastic, and then when they get down to the Final 4, they seem to struggle a little bit. So I'm kind of waiting for that team to maybe put it all together a little bit more. And Meatball City, man, they got a really nice team. They got the Wiz brothers and some of the guys they got on that team, and I expect them to play a little better coming into the year, and they started out great, and I don't know what it is, they're in the doldrums. So, but talent-wise, they could certainly play High Y, give them a ball game, give anybody a ball game. I think they're talented enough to do that, and we'll see. They've had, on occasion, some attendance problems, but we all know at the No Glove that never happens. Bottom half, we got Sauce playing an Iowa team, Hall of Fame. A lot of people think Hall of Fame might be the best team in Iowa. They're the team in Iowa, I think, that plays the most like a Chicago team. They got a good mix. They don't rely just on bombs. Their outfield's very good. They catch the ball a little bit, and so that'll be an interesting game with Sauce. And I think that Brian Sloan's done a good job with Sauce. He's another guy. He's trying to upgrade the roster. He's playing in everything now, and so that could be an interesting game. I'm not quite sure. Hall of Fame only came into one tournament so far this year, and they were okay. They didn't play great, so we'll see how they react. Them and Chucks have been taking the mitts off a little bit in Iowa, trying to get ready, but great group of guys, real pleasant if you have interaction with them. And then, of course, we run into Circus. And, of course, you guys have had a great history recently in this tournament of doing well. And, you guys won it a couple of years ago. Timmy Korenkowski, big home run late in the championship game. And, you guys got veterans. You guys got good players across the board. I think with you guys, it's not about offense. It's about if you catch the ball enough. Because you guys are scoring a lot of runs.
Yeah, we're if we do pick up the ball, we're going to be tough to beat. We beat ourselves a lot this year. Not saying anything against teams that beat us, because we've taken some beatings where we've gotten beaten. That being said, this bracket here has 3 Dosses in it. Just throwing it out there.
I thought that was illegal.
Yeah, Forest Park, we're known for nepotism here. Let me tell you. No, just kidding. But anyway, so Sauce, I've seen them a little bit because my son plays with them. Nice little young A team, just starting out. Like you said, Brian's doing a pretty good job with them. They're gonna have their hands full with Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame is definitely loaded. They hit the ball just like any Iowa team. Their biggest problem is going to be picking it up, but with them putting those gloves down all year, it's helping them. So,
sure.
We're going to have that winner. I'm not not comfortable saying it's going to be an easy game no matter who comes out. I think that's going to be a tough game for us. Our first game is always tough anyway. That top bracket, I don't know. We'll see. It's Meatball City. Another son plays there. I agree. I think they're a good team. When they put it together, they can beat anybody. They have. They've run a tournament already. So we'll see. This is a nice little bracket. IY. I haven't seen JB a lot, but he's been coming back, and when he's there, they're a different team. When he's on that field, he's a game changer in my opinion. So it should be fun.
Yeah, JB is kind of the way Curtis used to be on SmackDown. Curtis Ostrom. He's not as crazy as he used to be, but I used to always call Curtis the straw that stirs the drink. And to a certain extent, that's what JB does. But they got some good players on High Y who are turning into good leaders, guys like Kevin Johnson, KJ. And, so that's a dangerous team.
And I don't ever think I've seen a faster outfield in my life. You talk about 3 deers, they just get anything in the air is an out. It's an out.
Yeah, and they do. They put a lot of pressure on you. And they generally will catch the ball most nights. I know at the beginning of the year, they had a few games where they were a little loose with the ball in the outfield, but it looks like that's all been corrected now. And, let's say it played the chalk and you guys played High Y at some point. I mean, that would be obviously a star-studded and fun ball game to watch, but I'm not here to pick favorites. So we'll move on to the next quarter, and we have Demons playing the Pharaohs. And this is one of your sons going to the Pharaohs, Jack? Yeah. And the winner gets Hex. And, Demons, they kind of chug along. They've lost a player or two in the last couple of years. They won the A No Glove 2 years ago. And another group that they will compete, really like their right fielder, Isidro Di Santiago. I think he's a kid to keep an eye on. And, the winner is going to get Hex. And Hex has been kind of a strange club. They have talent, but they seem to be a little up and down. And it'll be interesting to see how they play this weekend. I would think, that they probably feel like they got a good shot to get to Saturday clean. But the Pharaohs have been playing much better. They played a couple of good games in the playoffs out here. And they seem like, with picking up your son, and I heard they might be picking up another kid. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Then on the bottom, we got Whale playing the play-in winner. So we'll know that tonight. Whale, good ball club. Jackson Perry, one of my favorite guys in the game. He's, he's one of those bigger-than-life guys. And he can wreck a game by himself. And so it'll be interesting. Chris Rieger on that team, too, one of my favorite kids. And they got a nice, solid team. They don't have a ton of superstars at every position, but they come out, they compete, and they have fun. Very tight-knit group. And, of course, the winner walks into the 45s. You look at the 45s, I think 2 big pickups, P.J. Raines and Jeff Mastari. But they just kind of show up. They catch the ball. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They take advantage of what you give them, and then they'll turn around and they will just, find ways to win ball games. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, on this quarter.
Yeah, out of this bracket, I like this Whale team. This Whale team's going to... Any team with Jackson Perry and Chris Rieger, in my opinion, they got a chance. 45s, I agree. This Jeff Mastari, I think he's got more hits this year than his dad did in his whole career. And his dad's a Hall of Famer. So this Jeff Mastari is a young superstar. And yes, P.J. Raines, you add him with Nate, that team's going to be dangerous all the way through. Up top, the Demons, you can't sleep on them. I love Brandon. I think he's a great hitter, their center fielder. He puts the ball in play. I think I saw him get 4 hits the other night. The Pharaohs, CC's got them guys playing well. My son played some Little League with some of those kids. That's how that came about. So he knows them all from Little League. A bunch of young kids that he knows. Hex, what can you say about Hex? A bunch of veterans. They're going to hit the ball. They have, problems with people showing up. That's not going to be a problem this weekend. That team, you could see them getting to a Final Four as well. So that bracket's a nice little bracket down there.
Yeah, but it cracks me up because when you get into these 2014 tournaments, doesn't matter who your first game is, you're running into a pretty good team in game 2. And if you're a bye team, it's nice you don't have to play Thursday, but Friday night, chances are you're going to be playing a pretty good team.
And a team that's already won a game, which means a big difference. It's a big difference.
And so, and of course, by the time you get to Saturday, there's nowhere to hide. You're going to run into good teams, and that's why with a field like this, where you're taking the best teams in the game and you're throwing them together, that's why, this tournament or midsummer, there were so many good games played during the weekend that it's just really great stuff. And, that's why, I've been saying online, let's pack the park. You can always go back and watch a live stream. You can watch a live stream when you're in the park if you want commentary, but you got to come out. Forest Park puts tremendous amount of effort into running this event, like everybody who runs a tournament. But these guys dragging water in the field every game, and the food and the beer, and it's homecoming for softball. So make the effort, come on out, grab something to eat. The food's great. Grab something to quench your thirst, whatever your choice of beverage is. And just support the game and watch the game. I guarantee if you come out, you're going to run into a lot of old friends you haven't seen in a while, and you're going to have a great time. Weather's going to be spectacular this weekend. So even though yesterday was not good, the rest of the weekend looks clear and good temperatures. And so, pack the park, come on out, enjoy the event and the tournament. Say hi to me if you see me. Love talking to all you fans. Say hi to JD. Hopefully that's all we'll be saying to you.
I'm sure I'll hear a little more. I'm used to it.
Me too. So anyways, folks, we hope you enjoyed the preview show. We will be live a little bit later tonight with the playing games. And tune in, check it out, and, as my good friend George Bliss would say, play softball. It's the greatest game ever. So tuning out live from McGaffrey Saloon with my good friend JD. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you all out at the ballpark this weekend.